pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, since we do have a quorum, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's introduce ourselves. Adam, we'll start with you.
I'm Adam Schellenbarger. I was sick last month. Sorry for the live stream not working. This time it's not my fault.
I'm Jansen Robinson. I was sick last week, but I wasn't with him. I'm co-chair.
Yes, you are.
And we are glad to see you back.
Absolutely.
Jim Lyons, Joppa, represent Glory Moon in the upper end of District B, the better half of District B.
It's the lower end. I'm Gloria Moon, it's the lower end.
It's the only here.
I'm Paula Mullis, I'm your chair.
Bob Hertzog.
Maryland Dept.
Who is also our secretary.
Yes.
And tonight will be the timekeeper. Ralph is from California, so don't think that you guys got away with anything tonight.
I'm going to yell at me.
All right, we will start with our community sheriff's report, and I'm happy to announce we have a brand new captain, Captain Gamble. Welcome him, please.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, Captain Walter got transferred.
He
He's going to
did.
give us all the information.
So first, let me introduce myself, Captain Tom Gamble. Been with the Sheriff's Office going on 25 years come February. Prior to that, I actually worked for the Ocean City, Maryland Police Department for several years as a seasonal and full-time officer before I lateraled up here to Hartford County. I have spent the majority of my career down here in Edgewood. For those of you who are longtime residents, you probably see me in one way, shape, or form. I've been a part of most of our special operations, high crime units. So I'm very familiar with Edgewood and Joppa and the southern part of the county. And just this past Saturday, I left the northern precinct where I've been for over the last year and have now come to take over the southern precinct. So I'm happy to be back and ready to get to work.
Okay.
He's a good man.
So with that said, I want to talk about the crime and the trends that we're seeing down here. First, I want to go with our total call. Now, the statistics that I present are a snapshot over the last 30 days. Okay, so it's going to cover the crime statistics from November 3rd through December 3rd. Okay, and I compare this same time last year to now. Okay, so our top 3 calls for service were suspicious incidents, check on subjects, and alarm calls. Total calls for service are down by 20%. That's good. That's a good thing. Total crashes are the same. Now again, remember, that is a 30-day period, okay? This time as compared to last year. Total calls for service are down 20%. Crashes remain the same. We had 23 altogether in the last 30 days. As far as our part one crimes or major crimes, all are down, specifically burglary and thefts. However, our auto thefts are up, and they're up significantly. And I'm going to talk about that here and kind of give you an idea of what we're seeing, okay? So one of the things that I've learned as a deputy and as well as a first line supervisor, and as I moved up and ran different units, we cannot do our job without you, without the public's help. You are our eyes and ears, and you are a force multiplier for us, because obviously we can't be everywhere at all times. So what I ask of you is a partnership between us as well as you, and what I'm looking for from you is information. If you see something, say something. now I can say I've worked literally all over the entire county. And, you know, one of the things that I heard a lot of is, I feel like I'm bothering you, Captain, if I call. You're not bothering us. That's what we get paid to do. We get paid to look into and investigate something that you think isn't quite right, okay? So we can't do it without your help, so I'm asking you, if you see something, say something. Now, when I say something, I don't mean go up and confront the individual. What I mean is pick up the phone, call 911. Sometimes people want to call the precinct because they think that they're bothering 911 if they call 911. No, that's not the case at all. If you see something and you think it's suspicious or you want to look into, call 911, okay? If you have a question about a past call for service, something that might have happened or something like that that you have a question about, then you can call the precinct and ask about it. But for anything that you see that you think might be happening or going on, call 911, okay? That is the best way to handle it. Do not confront the individual. Be the best, I like to say, be the best witness that you can be for us. Try to get a tag number, a vehicle description, a person description. If you heard a name, if you heard anything like that can be very beneficial to us. And most importantly, technology has become our friend, one of our best friends. So if there is a crime that occurred near you or around your particular neighborhood or area, and you know people that might have cameras that might have captured that, feel free to provide us that information. That's one of the things where you can actually call the precinct and provide that kind of information. So that we might be able to get that camera footage. Okay? Again, technology has been a big force multiplier for us as well and helped us solve crimes. One of the things I mentioned just today, we ended up arresting an individual over in our Edgewood community who was illegally carrying a gun out in public. So we were able to take this particular subject into custody. He's somebody that we've dealt with in the past. And again, that's based on information that people provide to us that allow us to go in and do these types of things. So we definitely cannot do this job without you. Knowledge is power. The more you guys know, the more it helps. So trends, what are we seeing today? As I talked about, our auto thefts are up, and they're up considerably. Okay, that is one of the biggest trends that we're seeing right now is theft of cars. The two cars in particular that we're seeing are Kia and Hyundais. Okay, if you know anybody that has a Kia or a Hyundai, all right, and they haven't gone to the dealership and had the new technology installed, the new upgrade into the computers installed, they can contact our community policing division and they can get a club. It's a metal bar that you can lock on your steering wheel. They also have them that go down and lock on your gas pedal or your brake pedal, I'm sorry, and your steering wheel. And it's kind of a low-tech answer, but it's a very effective answer. Yes, ma'am.
What's the information?
It's our community policing division, or you can come here to our front desk. And you can ask, we have some in the back as well. And it's with our midnight shifts, it's in the midnight shift sergeant's office, but the desk personnel should know, and we will be able to get you one. We have a limited number, but we do have some in the back. Yes, ma'am.
What makes those two cars so easy to,
so,
as opposed to other cars?
So there is, their column is susceptible, and they're able to use a USB to actually start the vehicle when they break it open.
Really?
Yes. It's actually on YouTube. I don't like to promote that, but the video is on YouTube, and they can steal it very, very rapidly, literally extremely rapidly. So
I saw where they can actually go in through the headlight. They were shown out on the news.
Yes, that's another way. Not with those. They're going in. Typically they're breaking a window and then cracking the steering column, and then that's where they're able to use the USB and start the car. So the two things to combat this is the new upgrade through the dealers, okay? And you can contact your dealer, and they'll be able to help you with that. And the other way is our community policing division. You can go onto our website and they should have the information there as well. So you can check on our website. But if not, you can call any of our precincts and ask for the community policing phone number to their office, and you'll be able to set it up that way. And again, we do have some limited numbers here as well.
I just have a quick question for something that he was speaking about before, about the video footage.
Yes.
So when we are sharing video footage, cause it was like one of your police officers that brought it to my attention, that when we are like sharing like the video footage of like crimes that are being committed, do they, cause I was told that they can like narrow it down, because like in the community that I live in, which is Harvard Square, like it's like everything, you know, if you look at certain videos, you could tell if certain stuff is happening at. So I was wondering like who has access to that video footage? Say if for some reason that y'all do catch a criminal off of video footage that I provide y'all, do their attorney has access to that video? Because I don't want to be a target. I'm helping the police, but then
Correct.
they start looking at the video footage and know where the video footage came from.
Correct.
Like the area where it came
Right,
from.
right. So yes, everything is discoverable. Okay, all evidence is discoverable. There are we do blur out things and stuff like that. We can redact information in a video. Okay, so yes, to your answer, yes, we can redact some things. Now, typically what we do is we will get the video typically from, like, say, Ring. Okay, Ring will provide that video footage to us, and so it's authenticated through Ring. All right, so we don't typically ask you to come in court or anything like that.
No, I'm like, the reason that I'm asking is because like I provided video footage for a really major incident that happened, and like the cop told me that they could like really see on the video footage where like with angle where the area where the picture came from.
Right, so where the person lives.
Yeah.
I got it.
Like where, like for instance, like if somebody running across my camera and then I happen to pick them up, like, and then they get arrested, and then their attorney said, well, we want to see the video footage to show, and then they look at the video footage and then they see like a red car or a white car, and they know exactly where the location was where the video footage came from.
Right.
Like how do us as citizens, and of course, like I'm a homeowner, so I'm invested in protecting where I live at. But how do I protect myself and my family when I do send y'all video footage and provide it?
So
because when I was told that, it kind of like scared me, and I'm like, well, do I give the footage or do I not give the footage?
Correct. So, you know, that's always been an issue. I can tell you this, all right? I actually started the gang unit here in Harford County, and back when I started this back in 2003 going into 4, you know, that was a really big issue, was retaliation for people that wanted to come forward. Okay, what I can tell you is I've seen a vast change in that because of technology. So many people have cameras now. So many people were able to get a lot of footage from a lot of different angles.
Okay.
So I can't say in every single case this is, you know, this is how it is. But typically, it's not just that video. We have other evidence and other things like that, so that you're not the sole and only individual that this whole case is placed on. Okay. And that's one of the things that I really want to get out there, that it's becoming more and more difficult for our criminals in the community to pressure the community because we are getting more and more people that are coming forward, when you have before, when it was only like maybe one person, it was very difficult. But now when you have 10 or 15 different people that are providing information, they really can't do something with that many people. Okay? Now, could that happen? Of course it can happen. I can tell you that I have not had an issue with it of recent. And then the other incidents that we have had, we have made very quick arrests for individuals that try to do any kind of intimidation or anything like that with victims or witnesses. Again, does it happen? It does. It does happen. I can't say it doesn't happen. But because of technology, because more and more people are finally feeling empowered and taking back their neighborhoods, we're seeing less and less incidents of people being targeted for it.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. But yes, it can be altered. And the state's attorney's office has the ability to do that, and we have the ability to do that as well.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
We would like an update on 2805 Pulaski Highway, the raid.
The what?
Raid.
2805 Pulaski Highway, and which raid would that be?
The Bravo.
The what?
The Bravo.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where it is.
So we have there is an ongoing investigation at that location. So I can't really discuss an active case right now. But I can tell you that yes, we were out there. We did, in fact, shut down Route 40. We did, in fact, make entry into the building. Again, that is our Special Investigations Division. They're actually head of that particular part of the investigation, and it is an active investigation right now, so can't really provide you, unfortunately, I can't provide you any further information on that. Yes, ma'am.
You just said a few minutes ago that knowledge is power.
Yes.
On November 9th at 10:26 a.m., I got an emergency alert saying that there was an incident and that I should remain in place. It was from Cecil County. They later told us, hey, there was a mistake.
Yep.
And then at about 11:35, I got a call from the reverse 911 system of Harford County telling me that there's not an emergency.
That's correct.
But when there is an emergency here, we don't get those calls. And I'm sorry, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so to speak to that. So in this particular case, an incident occurred over in Cecil County. And we, meaning our emergency dispatch center, has the ability to send out calls to residents. And we can target specific residents depending on where the incident occurs. Cecil County, their DES, Department of Emergency Services, has the same ability to do that. Most Department of Emergency Services have the technology to be able to do that. So in that particular case, inaccurate geographical fence was provided for the technology, and that is why that wide-ranging call went out.
So,
now, for us, what we do is we specifically target an area depending on what area is going to be affected by whatever the incident is. So
So I know this is your first month with us,
Yeah.
Or at least the first month where we're both here. I'm not sure if you were here last month, but a few months back in the summer, there was a shooting in Joppatowne, and there was a possible active shooter. In fact, the police hadn't ruled out that there was an active
Correct.
shooter, and we were getting our updates through Facebook.
Yep.
there was no call placed. And there, I mean, we can go back. I've listed, everybody here is sick of hearing me talk about this, I'm sure. But, you know, it's one of those things where I just kind of had to chuckle that I got an emergency call saying that there wasn't an emergency, but I can't get an emergency call when there is an emergency. And I would love to advocate and have you advocate for us that that system be used to inform the public. If knowledge is power, I want that knowledge power in our hands
Yes.
in addition to yours.
Yes. And I agree. So I will definitely make it a point to be brought up that when we send those out.
Yeah, and just, you know, that raid, for example. I mean, if you had to shut down Route 40 for a raid, being able to call us and say, hey, you might not want to take 40 if you're going to work or something like that, that would be perfectly acceptable. And I think there's also ways that you can opt out of those calls if you really don't want them. But I would love for those calls to happen. We've been trying to get them as far back as when Baltimore County shut down their public bathing beaches and the water was unsafe in the Gunpowder River, and no one told us in Harford County, but Baltimore County was informed. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. Thank you. And yeah, I wasn't worried about that particular incident on the 9th. It was just kind of ironic that that happened.
Right.
Last question?
Me?
Oh,
Okay.
Your Gloria.
Just ignore me.
And then, sorry, just one, two more things I want to discuss as far as trends. I want to make sure I make sure you guys are aware. So one of the other things that we're seeing is Nissans, Infinities. I'm sorry, Infinities are being targeted, and they're targeting the older models like 16, 17, 18, that range in there. Not the newest ones. They're like, you know, look about 6, 7 years old. They're targeting that range, and the technology that they're using is key duplication. So they're able to. There's several different things, but one of the things that they're doing is they're able to use technology and program keys, and then that key will give them access to the vehicle and allow them to start the vehicle. Just something to be aware of. If you have an Infinity that matches, you know, that there is, and this ring it's a large ring. It does not operate just here in Harford County. It's targeted multiple counties in the state of Maryland. And again, with the Kias and the Hyundais, this is not a Harford County issue. This is literally a state and nationwide issue right now. So just for your information. And again, it's really important you guys know, if you know somebody who has a Kia or a Hyundai and they're interested in that club, like I said, we have some limited numbers here. Contact our community police division. Again, access, go to our webpage. There should be information on there for that, or call our precinct and ask for the number. And one of the last thing I wanted to talk about was thefts. So it's that time of year right now where we're coming into the holiday season, and what we're going to see is an increase in package thefts, and we're going to see an increase in retail thefts. Okay, retail theft is a trend that's kind of exploded nationwide, and again, Harford County is seeing its fair share. One thing I can tell you is we here at Harford County are taking it very seriously. We have a number of different initiatives in play to help deal with this. One of the things I can tell you I've heard firsthand from the people that we have arrested is that they don't normally have to go to jail or deal with that when they're doing it in other counties.
Right.
And I like to tell them, welcome to Harford County.
Is
Yeah.
these teenagers?
It's all ages.
Okay, because
Yeah,
the news
all
said
ages.
teenagers thinking that they can, like.
And that is a trend as well, where they're doing what we call flash mob thefts, where they'll come in, you know, 30, 40 deep, and they'll come into a location, they'll rush in, they'll steal a whole bunch, and it's organized because they're all wearing the same similar clothing, and then they'll steal, and then they'll all rush out. Again, we've seen that in Baltimore, we've seen it in Philadelphia. Again, it's not just a Maryland issue. It's not just a county issue. We're seeing it all over. but just something, to keep in mind. Package theft, so with your packages, remember, there are safe distribution locations in and around the area. Try to use those locations. Again, we can't be everywhere to protect these packages. So, try to use what's out there available to help you so you don't become a victim. Yes, ma'am.
There was a raid also on Deccan, 2856 or 54. I asked the gentleman last month, he said he would get me some information.
Okay.
I know you're not the gentleman.
I'm sorry, yeah, he did not pass that on to me.
You know nothing about this?
Well, I was up in our northern precinct, so I'm not familiar with that particular one, but it was Beacon Drive, you say?
Yeah,
And it was when? Last month? November?
yes.
Okay.
It was October and November.
Yeah,
That was what I wanted to.
October and November?
That's doing as well.
yes, they've been back there.
And do you know, just so it helps me, did it look like was it our tactical team or was it the detectives with the vests?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, guns were drawn.
Well, yeah, but were they wearing, let me ask you this, were they wearing green or were they wearing regular, or, what's that?
Dark colors, it was like maybe black or blue.
Okay, alright. I'll take a look. I don't know, it's not jumping out at me.
It's either 2854 or 2856 second, something like that.
Got it.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna touch on the same thing, we live in the same neighborhood,
Okay.
but I'm concerned about it too, because it seems to be continuous. So is that something we need to be aware of,
Now, we need to be
concerned
aware.
about? I mean, cause anytime I see a SWAT team out in my area, my radar is up. I'm like,
Right,
okay,
right,
Do we
sure.
need to hide? Do we need to
Sure.
lock down?
Sure.
Also, the gentlemen, the officers who conducted the, raid on the brothel,
Mm-hmm.
I live back in that development.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to have been in Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything was going on. I got a phone call, and I look up and out the window, I see police cars flying. Well, okay, I gotta go home. I wanna know, is it safe? What's going on?
Right.
So I see a whole flock of police officers, on the Home Depot parking lot.
Yes.
So I decided to ride around, wind the window down. Excuse me, officer.
Right.
Could you tell me, is it safe for me? What is going on over here? Is it safe for me? I need to go home. I live back here.
Yes. Did he tell you?
Yeah, but I thought as though they brushed me off. I mean, you're telling me, but you're walking off at the same time, so I mean, did I interrupt you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't, maybe I wasn't supposed to approach him, but
No, it's okay. It's so typically, if you live in the neighborhood and we have an area blocked off, there's nothing wrong with asking the officer if there is a threat to this, to the general public. A lot of times, obviously, we can only give you limited information depending on what the investigation is, what's going on. But we can tell you whether or not it is a threat to the general public or if it's isolated and we have it, it's not a problem to anybody else. In this particular case, it was just that building. There was no threat to anybody else around there. So, in that particular case.
Gloria, go ahead.
Yeah, last month I had asked about the overdose cases. We used to have a report every month.
Okay.
I'd like to continue that.
Okay. Yep, I can get you that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just like that.
All right.
All right, one more. Anybody?
All right, well, we
Yep,
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you and
Thank
welcome, welcome again.
Again, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, before I leave, let me give you my information so you guys have it.
Before, do Harford County Police and HOAs work together? Cause I was informed that years ago that y'all was working with HOAs in order to put surveillance cameras up in the communities. Do y'all still have like a program like that where y'all would work with the HOA management and potentially put surveillance cameras up?
Yes.
Because so y'all still have a program like that?
Yes. So, well, it's not a program, but so we do. We work with our local community hotels, motels, and housing management offices. Okay, so Meadowwood Management Office, and as well as the Village Management Office, all the Fox Run Management Office, all these different management offices for the different apartments and communities. We do communicate with them, talk to them, and we do talk to them about camera systems and things like that. We do have camera systems set up, obviously, throughout the community. Not all the communities.
Well, I'm talking about Harford Square. I live in Harford Square, so
Yep.
I'm talking really about Harford Square because it's three gang houses like in actually my circle,
Right.
and it's very alarming that I continue to see two of the houses get raided often.
Yeah.
And I see the same people gathering out in front of the house like a couple hours later after the house has been raided.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if y'all would work with Harford Square.
We have
they
talked to
act like-
them. Yeah. We did. Part of the issue obviously is capital. Camera systems require capital in order to purchase them. Also capital and infrastructure to run the cabling and things like that. So those are some of the limitations, some of the reasons why we're not able to put cameras in certain areas. So,
Yeah, if you can just give me your information before you leave.
Yes,
so we
absolutely.
Can, like talk off the books.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like, well, off the record.
Yep.
Not off the books, but
Absolutely. So here's my information. My office number is 443-409-3514. Now I'm hoping by next week I'm gonna have my business cards in. I literally have to get new business cards, so they just haven't come in yet. So again, 443-409-3514. That's my office number here. Okay. Fax number, for some reason, if you need it, 410-612-1719. All right. Now, with my office line, it has an answering service. You can leave a number, and I will call you. If I normally work, I'm usually at work early, and I usually leave around 5:30, right in there, 6 o'clock. When I say early, I'm usually here at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Can you spell your last name?
Yep, Gamble.
Wait a minute, Bob, hold up, what's so good?
Gamble.
What'd you do in Vegas?
Have you received any calls on, flashing?
Splashing Brook?
Female flashing?
Oh, flashing.
Yes, we have this individual who wears this trench coat and she's flashing.
Really?
Should we call you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, not me. You call 911. You call 911.
she has a long trench coat on, and she opens up, she may have on.
Where is she? Is she on? Where is she?
Where is she?
Any pictures?
Is she on 40? Is she on 40?
Sometimes and sometimes in the neighborhood. What's the neighborhood?
Call. Yes. Honestly, yes. Call
You
us.
know? How did you know?
A black girl. They just dragged her out of Gabe's.
Call us.
They dragged her out of Gabe's on Saturday because she was in there with a halter top on and like some leggings and like and twirling and.
Yeah. Call us. Call us if she's out there doing that.
All right, well, we thank you so
No,
much.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, before we get to our guest speaker, I just have 3 quick things.
Real quick, sorry. One last thing I wanted to say. March 22nd, we're having an open house here.
Right.
It's for our 250th anniversary celebration. And it's going to be here at the Southern Precinct, and it's going to go from 3 to 7.
Okay.
All right? So thanks. March 22nd. Yep. March 22nd. 2024.
Yeah,
let me see. I don't think they.
Yeah, just real quick.
He did. Let me see.
Just real quick, I just have three quick things. First, I'm sure the whole community wants to send best wishes to Ron Solid, because he's fighting a pretty nasty case of COVID, which is why he's here tonight.
Poor thing.
Yeah, he said he's pretty sick. We also want us to send our best wishes to Dion for his wonderful recovery from his surgery, and we're so thrilled to see him
Okay,
back,
thank
absolutely. Absolutely, and,
That's what they gave.
last month, when
Thank
we
you.
had Roxanne Lynch here, we were talking about some abandoned buildings in Brookside. I got an email from her the very next day that she had sent inspectors out to that particular property. I don't have an update from her, but she emailed, yes, but she emailed me right away that she had sent the inspectors out the very next day to take a look at those properties, so hopefully something will happen. I'm hoping she'll send me an update, but she is inspecting it.
I was actually gonna tell you, there's been some progress, I guess he was gonna get into when he did the fire thing, but in terms of those buildings, it's been some process.
Yeah,
It's
she
been
went,
some
like
progress
I said,
around
I
that.
got an email the very next day that she said inspectors were out there at that particular property, so I was glad to see that, she listened to what we had to say.
She did it, cause
Yes.
it's
All right, so,
different.
moving on, we have another great guest with us this evening. And I would like to introduce him. This is Jordan Vogt, and Jordan is with the Maryland Department of Transportation, and I know you're all gonna love this, it's the state highway. We promised that we weren't going to bite, Gloria did anyway.
I did,
Yes, we told her we were gonna be very
Sheriff
nice.
left, I'll back up. So, I've never met you guys, but I've
Hi.
been, I guess, I'll give you a quick introduction. I've been with State Highway for 13 years. All that time I've been working in Baltimore and Harford County, so very familiar. A lot of my projects were in Harford County, so I'm very familiar with a lot of the smaller projects that I work in. Just as a quick synopsis, District 4 covers Baltimore and Harford counties. We're located in Hunt Valley. We do work all the way up to Churchill Shop, all the way down on the eastern,
Can
or
everybody in
western
the
side of
back
Baltimore
hear him?
County.
How far north do you?
Just Baltimore and Harford counties, so.
The whole county?
Yep.
Both whole counties?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's hard for them to hear you in the
Okay,
back, so.
sorry.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
okay.
project a little bit more, okay.
Okay,
So like I said, I'm just gonna kind of give an update on a couple of the projects that we're gonna have probably earlier in the spring. And some of you may have seen some small things that we've done out of our office. Some of the larger complex projects are handled by our headquarters down in the city. So pretty much probably the first one, you guys may have seen some pieces of it a couple of years ago at 24 and 755. You'll notice that we reconstructed the traffic signal, put in some sidewalk on the southern side of the intersection to complete that pedestrian movement. Now we're gonna be doing, it's gonna bid in January, and so they'll start construction in September, is the ultimate improvements right there. And so as you see, if you come south on 24, there's a double left turn lane, but one of them is kind of striped out. So what we're gonna be doing is converting that into the double left turn, going towards APG. And so as part of those improvements on 755 approaching the intersection from that side, we'll be kind of widening the roadway going around. You've seen out there, the utility poles are all moved. That was done ahead of time. In addition to the pavement widening, there's gonna be some drainage improvements on one side. You'll see some graded swale area, and then across, I think it's a salon now. We're gonna be doing a little bit of tying to their parking lot and with a little bit of stormwater management facility right there. That one should start probably in the spring of 2024, and because we did a lot of the improvements before, should close by the fall of 2025. And probably the bigger one that most of you guys know about is US 40 from the Baltimore County line to just right up here at the traffic signal of 152. I guess pretty much a lot of people are happy to see the stop pad has been completed up there at Joppa Farm Road. That was done under the double bridge project, which I think is just about completing its work. So there's probably some small things that they're working on, but the bulk of the project is done. Within our project, right now we're on a fall 2024 production advertisement. So the bulk of the work would start there in 2025. And included within that is there's some slope repair that we're doing where the RV lot is. If you drive by now, look down that big eroded area, we've been asked to repair that. There's one of the drainage structures, I think I was out there in February, basically is separated. So we've been asked to improve that, so that needs a little bit of additional design time, some permitting. For that, traffic signals at Joppa Road and Magnolia Mountain Road here will be completely reconstructed as part of that. Traffic barrier and the median in treatments will be replacing that. But I know the bigger concern is the pavement condition of the roadway itself. So I can report that we are actually going to do the main lines of US 40 once the weather breaks in 2024 with some active contracts that we have. So project that I was just talking about will be finishing things up on the outsides. But yeah, we're used to getting a lot of the complaints, our maintenance sections out there a lot, so we're kind of shuffling some of our projects that we were gonna do to kind of hit this one real quick because of the delays for the other permitted items, so, yep.
What did y'all just do on Hanson Road? Cause it's like water everywhere. Like, they were like digging in the streets and like this weekend, and like, it's like water like everywhere, Hanson and Hartford Square.
That's
County
County
road.
Road.
Oh, that would be County Road, okay, yeah, so I know Hanson comes off of 24, 55, but that would be Hartford
Ask
County.
your county councilman.
Okay, cause it's like water,
How about
it's still
Route
like
7?
water coming from the.
Route 7 is
road.
ours as well.
I know,
Okay, sorry.
but it's all broken on the side from the Baltimore County line.
Okay, right now I don't have anything planned on that one. I did try that about 3 weeks ago with our maintenance section. We were driving roadways in Hartford County,
Yeah,
working on our list, but I will take a look at that to see maybe they have something planned on there.
okay. That's just that one section, it's
Right
like
in
there's
the line?
springs or something.
Okay, is it just right from the line going forward, I guess?
Yes, from the old.
Probably like
bridge.
Fashion Way or something like that, or BGF.
Not even that far,
No, nothing.
not even that far. They keep putting patches, but it's, and that turn from Joppa Farm Road, that
Yeah,
real sharp turn on
I
the
know, we had a
seven.
gentleman in the back.
Okay,
Yeah, the gentleman in the back, and then we'll come up here.
Any thought to improving traffic control up and down Route 7?
in terms of,
Left hand, it's getting tough to get on and off during rush hour from Joppa Road and Joppa Farm Road, and what's the one below there?
farm would be, not gunpowder,
Yeah, no,
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw and Route 7.
That,
At
so,
rush hour, it can be difficult to execute left-hand turns there, especially at Joppa Farm Road, because the visibility is pretty limited.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that there isn't more there. So, but it can be pretty frustrating trying to get out onto those roads and so. And even at Rayful Road, you've got a blinking traffic light there.
okay,
It might be helpful during rush hours to actually convert it to a fully functional signal against, and it's used a lot. I know traffic's gonna back up, you know, and the whole idea is to keep it
flow, so,
going, but
I will forward this to my traffic section.
yeah.
So they may be working on some things that I'm mostly in the design section, so they may be working on, you know, like you said, they can go out there and just check something with a signal and timing, things like that.
Yeah.
I guess not to kind of break away into that, but it's a good segment. Are you guys familiar with our customer care management system?
no,
Okay,
I didn't
so,
know you had
okay,
one.
so this is a good one that I like to put, you know, when I'm talking with people, even when they call me on the phone. So you can use everything from reporting a pothole, traffic signal, just like you're saying, hey, you know, traffic backs up, look at a left turn, hey, there's traffic, you need traffic barrier here. So what it is it's in.hole, and so I can find the link, I don't have it, but if you Google right now, like m.dot plus CCMS, it'll take you, and what it does is it allows you to get a generated ticket, so where, you know, you call me and I say, yeah, I'll go look into it. What it does now is it gives you a ticket number and it gives you a status update. So if you call me and say, hey, I wanna report this, I can give it to my traffic section, and then you'll get a contact, they'll, you know, get a confirmation email, and then, you know, if you don't get an answer, you can say, hey, what's going on with this ticket?
CCM.
Yeah, well, CCMS. CCMS.
CCMS.
Yep, two C's, MS, so. And yeah, it's real easy, you know, click down the line, I think it is this, and if you have it in the wrong place, don't worry. We're experienced enough, we'll get it to the right person.
To piggyback off of what he had said real quick about this Route 7 thing, I don't remember your face, but I had went to at least one of those meetings about how this whole revamping this redoing of 95 was gonna affect these poor people on living up and down on Route 7, and that the traffic nightmare that was gonna come, and y'all promised that you would stay ahead of it. So to hear him bringing it up and to have experienced some of it, what happened to staying ahead of it? Was that just a promise, or y'all just told us that because it was election year, or what? I mean, because it, like he said, it's getting worse instead of better. And we still, y'all what? I don't have that notebook anymore. But yeah, y'all said what? We would be faced with a lot of this into 2026 with this 95 thing and how it's gonna impact 40 and Route 7. That's, yeah, the people who live up and down Route 7 and stuff, they shouldn't be going through, that's not cool, man. My girlfriend and them, they feel like prisoners in their house at certain points in the day with the way traffic is up and down on 7. You gotta do better for the folks, man. Come on, man. I'm just telling it like it is, man.
Okay, no, okay, so I'm not gonna, like, take out myself out, but I-95 is done by MDTA. So it's still an MDOT modal, it's just because it's not an SHA road, but when there's 95 intersects with an SHA road, there was coordination between our departments. So in terms of, so we'll take example 159 or 152 right now at the larger intersections. So at the intersections that are signalized, that's SHA jurisdiction. So as part of any sort of large scale traffic impact, the MDOT agencies review it as a whole to make sure that, like you're saying, if you fix it right here, well, what's the lingering effects going on? So that's run through those reviews and simulations to see what the impacts are. And then in terms of, kind of what we're saying, like secondary, we can only design for what's anticipated, but once cars start to, again, I'm kind of just going on from my experience and working with my traffic folks. But what they'll do is they'll see, growth patterns, but if, we can't control all development that comes up within a county. So let's all of a sudden Harford County says, this is a good place to start a new, residential development. So as part of that, if it accesses a state road, that developer has to show what the impact is to the roadway. And Harford County and Baltimore County are very different in what they require the developers to look at. So with like my general experience, Harford County says, okay, your development is here, now you need to see what it does in a 5-mile radius of all the traffic. And then the way they will say, all right, you're failing this intersection, this intersection, this intersection. You have to do improvements as part of your development. And so that's one way SHA controls development, to make sure that they go in there and we can kind of help minimize the impacts of the traffic versus allowing a developer just to go in, build it, and then we have bottlenecks everywhere. So that's all done in a review process because we can hold up their permit. So if you want access onto a state road, you need to show us that you're not causing a significant detriment to the system that's out there. Because, it's the local people that are gonna have to deal with that development once it's in place.
Right, but the development is I-95. Those houses, we're not talking about like they just slapped up new housing development. Those houses and stuff, what? What, Pastor Justin's house has been there since the 70s. It's not like you're talking about new houses and like Mandyville or these different roads and stuff where these people are up and down off of 7 and everything. In particular 7, 40 is a whole other beast. But y'all had promised, like I said, not you, because I don't remember your face, but I just know that the people there promised
she
that
will now, though.
it would.
That's MDTA, I'm SHA, so.
That it would not impact or just turn those people's lives up and down on Route 7 because of this 95 construction. And you talking about to 2026, these folks gotta keep going?
Yeah, they're
That's-
running out of money.
Yeah,
State of
that's
Maryland
a
says
lot.
they're running out of money.
Dan, go ahead, and then you.
Then you're gonna look into it, right?
Best I can do, sorry, is go to my traffic section because they would
Get the
work with
binoculars out.
MDTA as part of that project. Um,
You'll give us an update, right?
I will find somebody in traffic that will report back, so, because I would love to get, but, with them, they would have seen all the reviews, coordinated the plan reviews and all those items, so.
Go ahead.
Jordan, my name is Bonta Miller, president of the 755 Alliance. And so first I want to thank SSA for the upgrade to the signal and the lights at Route 24 and Hanson, no, that was Route 24 and 755. But there's an enormous amount of pedestrian traffic also at 24 and Hanson.
Okay.
So on any given day, you can see mom pushing strollers, and there's not light or sidewalks, crosswalks at that intersection. So it's just a little further down. So that would be something of a public safety issue.
Okay.
And then as for the Route 24 and the 755 signal, it's great that you have that sidewalk and the lighting, but from Route 40, where the Taco Bell is, all the way to that intersection, there's not a sidewalk. So people are on the main 755 walking and pushing their strollers and things, and so is there any plan for those two areas in particular?
So Hanson, I will have to get back to you for that, but for new sidewalk requests, there's actually a process that it goes through. So SHA has multiple programs for sidewalk placement, new sidewalks, upgraded existing ones, and so what they do is, so you're not the first one to ask about a new sidewalk in the location. And it's usually where you're gonna get one of them tickets to come in, but I can auto-generate one.
Okay.
And what they'll do is, so, because sometimes it requires a local commitment, so sometimes, you know, it's a lot of a funding thing, so if SHA wants to pursue, we have to see a local commitment as well, and that helps with that process. And the secondary thing that helps with the process with the local aspect is you guys. If you guys want something and you press your local officials for it, you know, it comes back to them and say, yeah, you know, we have a lot of citizen input on this one as well, we'd like to work with on that. And that's 24 from 755 to 40.
And
For the
one-
sidewalk.
yeah, one second, I have one question.
24 and Hanson for that pedestrian signal.
Is there
and
anything there
crosswalk.
right now? I'm just coming.
I'm sorry?
Is there anything-
There's a light signal there now,
there any
but there's no
sidewalk?
crosswalk,
Okay.
there's no
For the
push button.
pedestrian.
Okay.
There's a huge
Right.
number of pedestrian traffic from the neighborhoods over to get to the grocery
Right.
store.
Ma'am, go ahead.
Oh,
Thank you.
I don't know if anyone else has experienced this on 24. As you go to Walmart, that light right there, before you make the turn to go to Walmart on 24, it's the intersection, where you would turn to Wawa on the opposite end. I see a lot of confusion at that turn, where the double turn is. I don't think people are sure what lane to get in once they make that turn. I've seen almost, I don't know how many accidents happen there. Almost had someone sideswipe my car because I was actually going to Walmart, so I was turning and going straight.
Tollgate?
But they were in the other lane and they were coming over in my lane.
Yeah,
And
that,
there's a lot of confusion there, and I think that something needs to be done, that, you know, that, so people are just clear to people exactly what they need to do.
Hang on one second. Kathy?
I'm giving him a second to write everything down.
Shorthand notes so I can make sure I get the right intersections.
Well, good news for you, Jordan. If you want, we do have a live stream now, so you can go back and review this part of the meeting. Second, back when John Venanzo was here, he had talked about a brand new technology that was going to be placed in on 24. So that the lights would be recording the traffic all the lights would communicate with one another. There would be a camera recording the traffic all the way up 24, and it was supposed to revolutionize and shorten the distance or the time to take all the traffic from Edgewood up to yeah. And is there any update on that? Because it doesn't seem that there's a bunch of green lights. It seems like it's very easy to hit red light, and then you get to the next one, you hit another red light, and so on, all the way up to Bel Air. Something that, you know, on a bypass would, if it actually bypassed anything, would take 10 minutes. It takes about 20.
No, I can look into that with
Perfect.
some of the coordinators, because we are doing a couple of adaptive, so I think you're probably talking about the adaptive signal system.
Okay.
And so, but I will say, like, a lot, if you'll notice, not to, like, I guess, nerd out too much, but a lot of our signals, we tie them together via interconnect. And so what it does is allows a little bit, like you were saying, it allows movements to keep going a little bit longer sometimes, and it's not as adaptive as what this system would, because it'd be real time. This is usually like preset limits, and so, but if it's part of the adaptive signal process, or adaptive signal system,
Well,
I think it's the program.
He
for
said
it.
that it was only the second place in the entire state. There was one place in Annapolis that they put it in, and then 24 was supposed to be the second place in the entire state, and then it hasn't seemingly gotten a lot better, so.
Okay.
Did you want something you needed to add to this? Kept raising it, you have a,
Yeah, I've got some questions I gotta ask you.
okay,
You ready? You good?
well, yeah.
Okay. Talk about that median and, Route 40 from the Baltimore, Harford County line up to, 152. Did you say earlier that you plan to repave that?
Yep, main lines of traffic, or just main lines of 40.
Pardon me?
Main lines, so just the through lanes.
Up and down both sides?
Yep.
Okay, and the planter in the middle, okay, we've had this argument for years on this planter that's not there.
Mhm.
From Joppa Road up to 152, when they put the medium planter in, from Baltimore, Harford County line, all the way up to, Joppa Road, then they stopped. And then from Joppa Road up to 152, which is maybe 3/10 of a mile, they didn't put any. Then he picked up again at 152, all the way up through Edgewood, up to 24, and put the planter in. Then he said, well, the excuse they gave us, well, they didn't have enough money to finish the project. And I said, well, kind of screwy, and if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna put this planter in, you put it in straight all the way up, you run out of money, it'd be on the end, where you may not do it, it's up under 24, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but this is right in the middle, you know, right at Joppa Road and 152. And the note we got back from, State Highway Administration was, the extension of the median improvements were eliminated due to the lack of resources and funding has not been available. And how long ago that was?
2000, I think.
25 years ago. Okay, 25 years ago. So in 25 years, they still haven't been able to come up with the funding, you know, to do that project, okay, to finish that piece. On top of that, in the budget, this year's budget from the state, the state sent to Harford County $33,988,000. Of that $33,988,000 for capital projects, okay? Would you believe that not one single penny of that almost $34 million found its way anywhere in Edgewood or Joppatowne? How's that possible?
Alright, so I can't speak on the CTP items. So I think Joppa, Samantha, our district engineer.
I met with the governor back over at Maryland Public Television when he was over there early this year, giving a speech about schools and town hall meeting. I was there. Cornered him afterwards and asked him about this very thing. I'll give you a copy of this. Cornered him about this very thing. He says, Dion, thanks for the information. Do me a favor, write me a letter or an email. So I did. Went back to my office. I witnessed here. She typed it for me. I wrote a letter to the governor and I wrote him an email on the subject. Waited 4 or 5 weeks. I got nothing in return. I've called the number that the governor gave us, you know, the call. Got voicemail all 5 times, left a message all 5 times, and not a single person has called me back.
Okay. That has not reached its way down to me.
How long does it take?
I don't know, I can't give an
25
answer,
years.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, sorry,
you know,
so like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm
quick
not-
rundown, you know, $34 million. $4 million to a new district court, $3.5 million to Bel Air Library, $5.9 to Harford Community College Chesapeake Welcome Center, $802,000 Aberdeen Middle School, $6,600,000 to Harford Technical School, $10 million to Havre Grace for some equipment and automotive maintenance facility, $1.2 million to Havre Grace Elementary School, $1 million to Susquehanna State Park Trail Bridge replacement, $600,000 to Camp Moshe Water, whatever the hell that is, and $150,000 to Havre Grace for new pickleball courts. Well, guess what they did to us? They canceled our pickleball courts in Edgewood. They told the people there that to continue to play pickleball, they had to pay $200 a year a piece. They get $150,000 to build new pickleball courts from the state. So,
Can you fix
I
that?
understand it's.
I can't.
I know you can't comment on these things, but I can't get reply back from the governor's office. I would like you to take this document.
Have you, just
Well,
ask
can I
real
say
quick.
something, real quick? Councilman, if you have a problem with the state budget, then you have two delegates here that represent this area.
Well, I would ask you a simple question. You were the delegate.
Can I talk? You just sit up here and just,
Well,
you know,
I got the
just
floor.
talk for
You
a
come
minute.
up and interrupt
I
me.
just asked if I could talk, Dion. So I'm asking, if you have a problem with the state budget, you have two delegates here that could handle that problem. You're talking about a state budget that this gentleman has nothing to do with, sir. So if you have a problem, you have two
This
delegates.
stuff was sent to both of you.
Stop.
Councilman Dion, Councilman Guthrie,
Please keep this.
I'm asking you kindly, because I've asked you at least 10 different times to sit down to talk about the needs of District A, and you refused, okay? And I have the receipts, okay? So I'm telling you, if you have a problem with the state budget, you have two delegates here that are more than willing to talk about the state budget, okay? This gentleman has nothing to do with the state budget. Thank you very
I
much.
was gonna say, let's get back to let this gentleman do his
State highway stuff.
state highway stuff.
They're here, maybe they can answer the question why
I
we
have a
got
question.
$33 million
Okay,
and they didn't bring a penny to Joppatowne or Edgewood. That's what I
We're
wanna know.
doing state highways, let this gentleman do his, I have a question. It's
So what do I know?
probably-
Two delegates there asking.
It probably doesn't fall into the county, I'm not sure, but, and we probably covered it, and there's so much that we're covering. The ramp to get on 95 at 152,
Oh,
is almost like a catastrophe. I mean, I take it every Friday night to go up to Temple, and you never know, is there a lane, is there not a lane, are you getting on, are you not getting on? Do you have any idea when that project is slated to be in completion? At some point? It's a mess.
Double check in.
But sometimes I'm not sure where I'm getting on.
yeah.
Or to
So-
piggyback on that, they don't mark the exit, and I've gotten off between the cones wrong several times, because
Cause like I said,
They aren't
sometimes you
marked.
get on and there's a lane, and then sometimes there's not a lane and you're not sure where to get on, and it's really, especially when it gets dark at night and you can't see.
And the
it's
lane
really
falls
confusing.
Also under the 95.
Yeah, I know, I agree, sometimes the markings that I've
That's
seen
what I mean,
at
I-
nights, usually they're supposed to be, if it's on the interstate, they're supposed to put that like temporary little exit sign. Cause yeah, I took 95
Well,
here and I was just
no,
following the cars.
But I mean, do you have any,
But I,
whatever time, do you have any
hey,
idea?
hold on. Everybody can't talk at the same time.
That's what I keep saying, when it
Take
comes,
it, okay.
I was just wondering if there was any idea when they are thinking about a completion date.
okay, let me, I got to reach out to some
Okay.
EJCAB contacts, cause they'll be
Yeah,
managing
that's
this.
what-
Actually, I'll ask my construction
We'll
folks. They
appreciate
work
that,
with
if you could get back to us with something that I can report next month, I would
Okay,
appreciate it.
yeah, there may be like a phase, you could see where they change the line.
Okay. Well, do you have to contact them, let's get a contact with them and have them out here that takes through those roads.
Yeah, they need to get yelled at.
I mean, are they widening the roads, or are they trying to bring that express lane up? The express easy pass lane up?
It goes up to 543 and then quits.
Yeah, I
Because like
can't
I'm,
answer.
like, what are they like doing?
I think
It's
they're
just
trying to
northbound.
Huh?
It's northbound. The express, I call it the Lexus lane, is northbound only to 543
Yeah.
because there's this big development there and shopping, and they don't care whether you go south or not. They're just bringing you up north to the shopping.
Hold up. The whole thing, like y'all see it, yeah, they always have been working. They've been working on 95 and stuff since I was a child, and that was way back in the 70s. But the
longer
meeting
than that now.
the meeting I was talking about was specifically when they rebranded and came up with this monstrosity that they started a couple years ago. That was heading into the 2018 election cycle and stuff. They came up, y'all had several meetings, you had 2 in Baltimore County, you had 2 here, you had 1 in Cecil County about this 95 development. Y'all told us it was be going on until 2026. I went to the meeting in White Marsh. There was a lot of people who lived on 7 from Harford County, Edgewood, Joppa, and everything and stuff. And, you know, this stuff. Y'all did not tell us there was gonna be times you come up, like she said, you're coming off 152 and you can't see, you don't know. The one night the car, I'm watching the poor lady about go off the bridge, cause y'all are just, you leave to work, you don't put no barrier up. Then at night it's dark and stuff, people coming off the house. That's dangerous. When are y'all gonna get the thing done?
Is
And
that
if y'all
MDTA?
aren't,
That's
if the
MDTA.
timetable has changed, can't you come back and have some more public meetings and let us know what's going on?
It's not their department, it's you said
So-
MD.
so that's what-
And we'll try to
MDTA.
get, and we'll try to get them for next month's meeting, that handles
Yes.
those parts of the roads that maybe can give us.
They've been here before talking to us about it. We've
been a
all
while.
been to the
Yeah,
meetings.
it's been a while.
Yeah, 'cause
All they
it's
needed to
getting
do
out
was
of
put in
hand.
extra lanes. They didn't need this.
We'll see if we can contact them and have them
We'll
come
get 'em.
back.
We'll get 'em.
Yeah, I'll ask my district
This
traffic
gentleman
section.
is
So,
answering
because
what
they
applies
have
to
to-
his
Give me a contact.
department.
I know, so I'm kinda
No,
getting
no, no.
now more,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Voigt is more,
I'll talk to my traffic
Right.
person.
he's
They would
more
work
like
with MDTA.
state highway administration
But I
in
need to-
terms of
Right.
the
MDTA.
smaller projects and the thing that a lot of us wanna know about.
Right.
He's in charge of the stuff
Right.
coming this time of year with the snow, the salt, all that type of stuff to
Okay.
maintain the
All
road.
right.
Is that the general idea here?
Alright, Jim, real quick.
Yeah, I just wanna make a comment. He's got his job to do. You're complaining about Route 7. I can assure you that Jerusalem Road, all right, when 95 gets blocked up, is just as jammed with the tractor trailers or cars.
It's off.
And from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock or beyond,
It is.
Jerusalem Road, which is a county road, is taking
It's
the
a low
offset
county road.
of the state roads.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
well, here's the answer, just stay
it's
in,
all, it's
stay
all
in the
of
house.
Well, you have to. You
Stay
can't get
inside.
out.
Yeah, but they.
Alright, let's let you
promise
continue.
I'm
I'm sorry.
like
But I
that,
think-
it's just not.
No, that's pretty much what I had,
Okay.
the bulk of, just the 2 main projects that I have in the area.
So there's no big plan for 152, say, up where Jim and I live, north, between
It's hard
here
to
and
hear if
Route 1.
everybody's talking.
No, I think just resurfacing and some patching to it,
Okay.
so I don't foresee
Yeah, it's
anything,
built on
no widening,
springs,
nothing.
so-
Okay.
The road keeps
So,
giving
and
way.
again, if it's that, like I said, that CCMS thing, if potholes pop
Okay.
up, you know, put that ticket in there, they'll get back and report. I know the guy in maintenance in this area, so he's really good about that, so.
Yeah.
You have a question in the back, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Max Taylor, and I got here kind of late with that little kid. I know y'all went over preparation already. I just moved to Harford County, my boxing club. They got a boxing club in Harford County. Down in the ink parlor, down Route 40. The tattoo parlor on Route 40, John Burdock used to be at. Anyway, it's 3911. That's the address. I got a boxing club going on. I bring to Harford County.
Oh, okay.
And we just moved there. Actually, Israel took over. John Burdock brought them out, and they called me up for boxing. I got a boxing club down the street now.
Okay.
I bring for the kids, but sometimes you can't get scholarship about boxing. Just look at USABoxing.org for scholarship.
Anytime.
I'll tell you how I go about it.
Okay. Excellent. Okay.
We're done with you?
Are there any more questions for this poor gentleman? We promised, we
We thought we'd be good, but
Well, Gloria's one made it.
Well, if nothing else, you can go back and tell the superiors, look, the people is engaged, they know what's going on, they want it.
Or I'll give you guys my contact info, and once I reply back, then we'll.
Right, and whenever Gloria gets the answers to that, we always, blast email out to everybody with everything that we get, so. Thank you so much. We hope that you'll come back. Cynthia, you're up.
I'm Cynthia Lynch from Harford County Council.
Yeah, come up front so that everybody can hear you.
I thought you were bringing a microphone.
Oh,
Yes,
I did say that.
Yes. You
I
need a
promise
microphone.
the next month I will really try to get a microphone, so it's hard to hear. Yeah, especially, they should, I always thought that there was one at the.
There
pulpit,
was
but then
one.
They took it away.
Good evening. I'm Cynthia Lentz from the Office of Patrick Vincenti at Harford County Council.
We still can't hear
Okay. Still can't hear me?
You'd be better off in the middle where you were, I think.
Yeah, come right over here.
Come right in the middle where you were.
Well, and
What am I doing?
right here.
Okay.
And then
Get
Lori
closer
needs
to
you to,
the mic.
Lori
I
needs you
need
to
your
stop it
email
and make sure
address.
that she can read the email that maybe Lori not getting it. She needs you to verify your email, cause she couldn't read that front
Is
part,
it
that may be
C-
why you're not getting it.
CM?
Okay.
Good evening again. I passed out our November, county council highlights, which would give you information about all the meetings that were held in November. Also, I'd like you to take notice of the printing in red, which will show you when the public hearings are scheduled, and some of them scheduled ahead. I can also tell you that we're having an adequate public facilities meeting in December 20th. And if you have any questions for Mr. Vincenti, I would like to take them back.
Are there any questions?
One hand.
Okay, no, Cynthia, hold on, we have a question.
Yes, sir.
Steve?
I'm Delegate Steve Johnson, District 34A, it's a Route 40 corridor. Not a question, but a concern. A concern about issues coming up before the county council and being voted on the same night. The latest one in particular was putting hotels in B3 districts only on the Route 40 corridor. And when you look at the Route 40 corridor, you have to take out Haverty Grace and Aberdeen because they do their own zoning. So really, you're basically saying only in Edgewood, Joppa area. So that came up the same night it was voted on. And I don't think they're leaving enough time for public input. So you can take that back to Council President.
They
Thank
do
you.
that with a lot of different things, and it was the science and security corridor. And I
Well-
asked for a map, and that is really strange.
Well, let me clear that up. That science and security corridor was back during BRAC, and that involved 4 different states. So trying to designate that as a pathway and an excuse to say the Route 40 corridor, that doesn't hold water, because that included Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. So that was the science and security corridor.
Well, that's what we call it here.
Yeah.
I know. It's actually in the zoning code.
Lenora,
Happy Grace to Baltimore, Harford County line.
you're up. Lenora, yeah, you're up.
Watch the court. I'm good at it. Thank you.
I should have.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
We hope.
From last month, we had the Sensory Santa workshop. I just want to let you know the outcome of that. It was very successful, extremely successful. December the 2nd, which was a Saturday at 10 a.m. from 2 p.m., it was completely filled. We have another one on December the 9th, which is this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sorry, that's filled. They have a waiting list right now.
Wow.
So it has been received extremely well for that, and when I made the call, I said, maybe you can do 2 next year, okay? On the same date, but different time slots. So it's been received extremely well. Just wanted to let you know that from our November meeting. From the county executive. As the county executive's first year in office comes to a close, he wishes to take a moment to thank you for the opportunity to serve you and the county that he truly loves. Hopefully, you're able to gather with your family and friends this holiday season and celebrate the blessings of this past year. We've gone through COVID, and it is surfacing again. So we want to stay connected as much as possible, and we're very thankful, Ms. Paula, for being here this evening to share information. The county executive says to each and every one of us, best wishes for a happy and healthy 2024.
Bravo.
It's from Bob. Give him a round of applause. He's been with us 1 year. We need volunteers to help with the wreath across America, which is December the 16th. Wreaths across America on Saturday, December 16th, mark your calendar, is an opportunity to lay a wreath at a veteran's grave to honor their service and teach the next generation about the value of freedom. In Harford County, volunteers are most needed at events planned for 2 p.m. So if you would write down, if you have some free time to do that, it would certainly be appreciated. In Happy Grace at Mount Aaron and Angel Hill Cemetery, there's volunteers needed at that location as well. We welcome the volunteers at Bel Air Memorial Gardens and APG North and APG South cemeteries. Unfortunately, wreath donations are down this year. To donate locally, there is a site that you can go on and search for one of the participating cemeteries in Harford County. I stopped to smile at this gentleman last month that sat all the way in the back, and he's smiling now because I asked him could he hear me. So he's sitting up front today, so I'm sure he doesn't want to miss anything. New laws limits apartments in business zone districts. I'm going to repeat that. New laws limits apartments in business zone district. Before the county executive came into office, apartments were being approved and built in Harford County without sidewalks or safe access to transportation, supermarkets, and retail stores. Allowing these structures in a business district also makes planning extremely difficult because we don't know if a site may become home to families with children or a business that places no demands on our school. That's why the county executive proposed legislation to limit apartments in districts zone B3 for general business. The legislation was later amended and approved by the county council to ban mid and high-rise apartments in B3. Write down this site. I see Dion is nodding his head. www.harfordcounty.gov/archives center and the file. You can always get information from the county's website. It's easy to follow. When you go to the site at www.harfordcountymd.gov, to the far right, there's a large rectangular box that says search, S-E-A-R-C-H. You can put in anything in there and Google to the moon.
Yep.
Whatever you're looking for. Sometimes when you make telephone calls, you don't always connect to the individual that you're looking for, but if you go to the site, you'll get that information. Planning will begin for 1,200 acres Oakington Peninsula Park System along the Chesapeake Bay. The Oakington Peninsula in Harford County, in the Havre de Grace area, is more than 1,200 acres of natural beauty that will one day become a public park system for all of us to enjoy. This peninsula on the Chesapeake Bay includes Swan Harbor Farm, the Carlson Feltman Conservation Area, the Eleanor and Miller Tidings Park, and the Mullins property, all of which are now owned by the county. An initial site assessment has been completed, and we have formed a work group including multiple community organizations. Opportunities for public input on the future of the park will also be a part of our 2024 master plan process. So I would imagine there will be opportunities for that input here, somewhere on the agenda.
Do you have a date for the master plan?
No, they did not project a date, but if you contact me, I think you have my contact information, I'll get a date for you, okay? The Abingdon Business Park appeal. Early in the county executive's administration, he revoked Abingdon Business Park's grading permit and site plan approval and issued a stop work order after the Maryland Supreme Court ruled that the project's forest conservation plan was deficient. Late last month, the circuit court reinstated the deficient plan, meaning that the developer can resume work. The following day, the county executive's administration appealed the ruling. In our view, the developer's forest conservation plan violates state and county regulations, and it is important that proposed developments follow the law. So our county executive is looking into it, making sure they do what they're supposed to do. That website, once again, you can go right back to the one I just previously gave you to get that information. Public safety, it's important to each and every one of us. On the Mar Park Trail, we heard of the tragic incident that took place. I had never gone to the Mar Park Trail until I did a sickle cell event. Life is changing. Safety is still number one for each and every one of us. After the horrific murder of Rachel Morin, whose body was discovered in August on the Mar Park Trail, our county executive directed his staff to develop a video camera system to improve safety for trail users. Installation of a security system began last week. After it goes live in mid-February, the system will be able to quickly detect any unusual activity and locate a specific person or vehicle of interest. When you use the trail, please also be aware of your surroundings. Walk with a friend or a group. Tell others if you're walking alone. Carry your cell phone, that shouldn't be a problem. And report anything suspicious. Call 410-838-6600 or call 911 in an emergency. Be mindful of one another. Toys for Tots collection. The drive is going on, and the county executive administration is proud to help the Marine Corps with this year's Toys and Tots collection drive by providing county facility warehouses and distributing donations by appointment. We have also placed collection boxes at county facilities, including our administration building at 220 South Main Street here in the Bel Air area. Consider making donations to help make the holiday a little brighter for local children that are in need. If you know your business would like to donate or get involved, visit the Toys for Tots Harford County website and you'll get additional information. I'm going to give you that specifically. It's going to be / it's HTT, hot, topic, P like in Paul, S, / Harford-MD.toysfortots.org. Local coordinator. Once again, you can go to the county website. That information will be available. Want you to watch Inside Harford County for our county executive's first year in office. Inside Harford County, which is hosted by Mark Bernanelli, and just want you to look back at what the county executive has done for the first year in office. You'll get specific information about the administration's work, what they've done to improve the quality of life here in Harford County, and outlines of plans for the year ahead, 2024. The December episode of Inside Harford County is available online and will air 7 to 7:30 p.m. every Monday this month on Armstrong Channel 7, HD 101, Comcast Channel 31 and HD 1084, and Verizon Channel 31. I reiterate, Inside Harford County, just like a soap opera, right? Inside Harford County is available online. It will air 7 to 7:30 p.m. every Monday this month on Armstrong Channel 7 and HD 101, Comcast Channel 31, and HD 1084, and Verizon. Holiday greetings come to you from the Leodendron Mansion in Bel Air. It's decked out beautifully. You can go on site and take a look at that. If you haven't started your Christmas decorations, call an elf. I'm sure they're waiting for your call. The state of emergency address from our county executive will be January the 9th. Mark your calendar for the state of the county address at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 6th, 2024. I'm sure he's looking forward to giving you many, many highlights of the progress in his administration for the first year and the plans as we move forward. It will be live or archived on the county website. Thank you for your time and attention, and I would like to say this is my first year being a part of meeting Paula and the board, and it's really informative. Thank you for being so open and greeting me with open arms. Enjoy the holidays, and hopefully you'll see me in 2024.
Thank you for bringing us so much information.
Were you okay?
Thank you.
Watch
it. Got it.
All right, so you're up.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for Ms. Lenore.
Yeah, go ahead, Lenore, we have somebody has a question for you.
No, Ms. Lenore.
No,
Ms.
Lenore.
Robinson, they got a question.
Yeah, Lenore.
Lenore, they got a question for you.
Ms. Lenore,
We have a
I have a
question.
question. Thank you for your report. I had a question around if the county executive is looking to expand some of the security camera capabilities to other areas. Unfortunately, that tragic murder happened on the Mile Trail, but as you know, you heard here, we have other areas, especially here in Edgewood, other areas that are challenged with a lot of crime, and we are, one of the reports was saying that there's financial, obviously there has to be some financial stake in it from the areas, and if there's enough infrastructure and so forth. Has the county executive looked into adding into the budget those infrastructures in these areas that are high crime, and so that we can kind of also potentially prevent those areas, this from happening again, and or alleviate some of the costs from the community having to invest in the in the cameras, and really have the county help us with securing our own homes.
What was brought up by this young lady is that, is the county executive gonna look into other areas for safety measures? If you write the information up, I'll take it back, we'll present it to the county executive. I provide the information from the county executive. I cannot respond because he has to have an opportunity to look into certain situations. And crime is running rampant throughout different places for that, so we have to address it one-on-one, little by little, as it comes to play. If the young lady had not lost her life at the Maryland Trail, who knows if we had ever gotten that extra security there. So if you bring it to the attention and you present it well, and it does cost, nothing in this world is free. It's going to cost us as taxpayers somewhere along the line, so be certain that what you're asking for, think it through. How are we going to get this? What's going to increase? But the bottom line is it's going to help everyone down the line. Thank you.
And I will say that Lenore is wonderful about taking our information back to Bob and getting answers for us.
Yeah, I have a metal vest on as well, so when I take the information.
Okay. And about what the issue she raised and everything, I don't know how many in here got the email update. Everybody went to the meet with the county executive, and then they, on the 29th, he just sent out an update about the Southern County Task Force and everything. Where is that person at that sat in that meeting?
That gentleman?
Yeah, and said they would be here because.
He's here, right there.
Alright, cause yeah, nobody, different ones that said they've gone down there and to the, no, Mr. Foster. Yeah.
No, it's not, there's a gentleman that's running the Southern County Task Force at the community center. There's a young fella.
Right.
They're supposed to be able to go to the community center.
Yeah, to find out about this stuff, bring up the stuff.
Rob is supported by the
They're
county.
boys and girls, you know what I'm talking about. It's a place in Edgewood.
Jonathan Foster, right, and nobody can.
Rob is supported by the county executive.
Alright, let's clear it up.
Yeah.
Jonathan Foster is the coordinator
Okay.
for the
Okay.
Southern County Task Force. Sometime after he was put in that position, which there is an office there at the rec center at Brookside. After that, Bob brought me on as the administrator for the program.
Okay, didn't know
So
that.
Jonathan and I are working
I didn't
together
know that.
on
Sorry.
this.
I apologize.
Okay, so right now he's in Bel Air working on a newsletter and getting some other information from some of the departments up there to be able to distribute down here. But I'm down here
Okay.
3 and 4 times a week throughout the community, and I'm gonna talk to you about giving me some of your information. And we'll between Lenore and I, we will carry this information back. There's a lot of things in play right now, a lot of things in motion. We're looking at a tremendous amount of grant funding.
Yeah, it's all laid out and you see the stuff, but then when you try to follow up, like I said, he said at that meeting, he gave us his email, phone number, said come by, these are the days when people have gone by, including myself, and we haven't heard back
It's been
from
a
him, so
little
I'm
bit,
glad to see you.
it's been a bumpy start, let me say that. It's been a little bumpy start. That gentleman is in school currently, he's doing finals this week too. So he's balancing a schedule, but once he gets done that and finish up, his schedule in the spring is gonna be a little bit better to be at that Brookside office more, okay?
Okay, so are y'all planning to have a meeting to discuss some of this, especially the stuff y'all have outlined for the housing stuff
Right,
and everything? And
right.
then your crime issues on this
We are actually
thing he just published
meeting
this second on the
every couple of
29th?
weeks. There's 9 of us on that task force, 9 department heads, and we meet every 2 weeks with the county executive. And that, all those things are in motion, I guarantee you.
Let me just, piggyback on that. Bob, I didn't know that, I wish they would tell you, but I've known Robert Wagner now for years, and I will guarantee you that if there's an update, you will let me know, right? And
We'll
then
let you all know.
I will put it out.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're now the point person.
Go ahead, call me the point person, okay?
And
I'll
if
be
you
the
can't
point
get in touch
person.
with him, just let me know, cause I can get in
Yep.
touch with him.
I know, but you do so much, I
It
like to
doesn't
go
matter.
terrorize
It's
other
okay.
folks some too.
He and I are friends, I've known him for years, so yeah, I can get in touch with him anytime. I'm glad to hear that you're doing that, I didn't know that, so I
thought you knew
apologize
that.
for not announcing that, cause I was unaware.
Yeah, well, that's
So
the
now
way
we
it
know.
is right now.
Okay, alright, now you're up, Leon.
I don't think so.
Well, he's gonna talk for Ron, so I thought we'd wait until we got you up front of the board.
All right, go ahead, whatever.
And then
How
you
you
can
wanna
do it.
I don't wanna hold up Mr. Guthrie for this half hour.
No.
Yeah, I just thought when you were doing your report, Jim, that you could, do for Ron.
Jump started me on that because I was gonna mention it, Rob, I remember,
Yeah, I didn't know.
handling that.
Yeah, I
So
didn't know.
jump started me. We go back a long way because we served on the council together. One of the things I always liked about Rob, he never held back an opinion. I remember one time we were on the council, we were arguing some bill, and Rob was the president, okay, of the council. And he was so upset with what was going on, he got up and walked off the dais, sat in the audience, you know, until we finished debating about the bill. Then he got back up and came back on. So.
We all have stories.
And also, I want to honor Rob for another thing. He is the only person in the history of Harford County to ever serve 20 years on the county council. So give him a hand. I'll make 4, 8, 12, 14.
All right,
I'll
get on
make
with your
16.
report. Skip ahead, move on.
First off, just a quick point of personal privilege. I just want to thank you all. A lot of people in here had phone calls and emails and texts and everything else about the recent surgery I had. And I went out 20 days ago, believe it or not, in 20 days I'm back. And I had some serious surgery. I didn't know it was going to be that serious when I went into the hospital. Another reason I talk about it and bring it up, I just wanted to show and give everybody the importance of going and getting colonoscopies and getting them at a time before you have an issue. Because after you have an issue, it may be too late. And it has something to do with my age, because now they've moved the age back to 45, where they're starting to want people to take colonoscopy. Well, I've had 3 in my lifetime, and the first 3, well, if you've been counting the last one, was this August, they were all, none of them had any polyps in it. But the last one I took, it had a mass on the inside of the colon. So if I don't get this colonoscopy, I mean, I had nothing, no symptoms, no nothing. The doctor said if I let this go 4 or 5 months from now, it would be disaster. I may not have made it at all. So what they had to do is go in, and I'll tell you what I want to make sure all you people understand this about the importance of colonoscopies. Okay, so I went in. I was trying to time this along with the doctor, so I didn't miss as much time as possible, not to miss council meetings. I only missed 1 council meeting because I went in after the 15th, the 16th. I went to Mercy Hospital for the operation, and when they got in there, they had to take out 8 inches of my colon. On the inside of the colon was that mass. So that was not thinking that was over. They had to send that and have that checked out to see what it was. Well, it was stage 2 cancer. And but that's the bad news. The good news that they got it ahead of time, and that there was no spread whatsoever, and that the doctor assured me I have no cancer anywhere in my body, that I got it on time, and that's the importance of getting a colonoscopy. I know, unfortunately, I know a lot of people, some of you in this room, I'm sure know, people in their 50s, you know, who have died because they didn't get colonoscopies on time. And unfortunately, I can tell you about one. My daughter, at 52 years old, refused to do it. And before I know it, she was stage 4 cancer, and she died in 9 months. And that's in her early 50s. So that's a tragic thing in our family. It's difficult to deal with because it's right around Thanksgiving. And I go in right around Thanksgiving. So just we got a lot of things in our family. But thank you all for that, and just put that in your memory banks. If you haven't gotten colonoscopy, you're 45 or over, you better start because just another quick one. If you remember Katie Curry on TV, remember her on TV years ago? She was in the news. Her husband refused to get a colonoscopy, and then they got tons of money. Okay, he died from colon cancer, and so she to put on a emphasis to the entire nation. She had a colonoscopy live on television. You remember that? Not only was it live on television, you had the monitor up there and you could watch the camera going through her colon. Okay, she never even was put to sleep. She stayed awake and watched it, which is incredible. Anyway, just want you to know the importance. Okay, a couple things. You got my newsletter. It's very quite a bit in there. Read it when you get a chance. We got to thank Debbie Button, my legislative aide. She puts this together for us. We collect our information over the month and put it together in this piece. And I just want to point out that the first thing on the first page, dealing with bill number 2304, which comes up for, testimony tomorrow night, on the hotel tax revenue. If the bill's passed, half of the, tax money raised on 9 hotels that are in District A, which is about $685,000. Half of that will have to be spent in District A and on issues to deal with the tourism. And I think we're gonna be okay. I've talked to a lot of people, but I need you there to testify on that bill, just in case. We don't wanna take any chances. It certainly is going to be great if we get it done, because we haven't done it. It's been there for 8 years. Out of those 9 hotels for the last 8 years, there's been $5 million. Over $5 million from those 9 hotels has went to the county in a hotel tax, and not a single penny spent in District A. Not a single penny. So we need to get this. It's important for the community. It's important for, particularly with copper mine. You know, we worked on that, got that going. That's going to go literally full bore in the spring of the year. And Alex, the guy who's copper mine CO, I've had numerous meetings with him over the years, and over the last couple of years, and he's really a great guy to work with. He expects, and this is coming from him now, he expects when those 8 fields get going full bore in the spring, he expects around 12,000 people, mind this, 12,000 people coming into the Edgewood area on a given weekend from Thursday to Sunday. That is going to fill them hotels up, okay? And that's more hotel tax money that we don't want to see to go north. Enough of us went north for now. Let's keep some of it, and let's keep it in Edgewood and Joppatowne. Let's fix things that we need here we can do with that money, okay? So we need a lot of support on it. And on that first page, it gives you a complete explanation in this first column about where to call, who to talk to, what to do to sign up to testify. Also, I'm going to point out to you all on the second page, and this happens in a lot of people in this room's lifetime, it's going to be a miracle. But I'm glad to see the Department of Transportation, because I've been fighting this for years. They're talking about replacing all the bridges, all the railroad bridges on the railroad, all the way up from New York, all the way down. And two of them in here, and it's on this second page of the newsletter, the Bush River bridge replacement. That's going to cost about $18 million. And why the Gunpowder River Bridge is so much more, I'll have to look into it, but that's $30 million. You know, I can't understand why it's more, but at the same time, we're trying to have a lot of people who have emailed me about this issue. It's a great time to raise that bridge, because they're going to raise the Bush River Bridge. So if we're going to raise the Bush River Bridge, you got to raise the Gunpowder River Bridge. As closing, I want to thank the county executive. I've been working with him quite a bit for this past year, and I can't thank him enough for creating the Southern County Task Force. I've been to a number of the meetings that we've had on this task force. They're doing a great job. We couldn't have better liaison over there, Rob Wagner, for us. I know that early on, Bob called me up, and of course we have we go back a long ways, because when we were on the council before, him and I were on the council together. We made we were pretty good friends before he got sent to Iraq. And you know, finally he got sent because he's an attorney also, so he was sent there as a JAG, and he was sent there. He spent 3 years in Iraq, and we went there. A JAG's assigned to somebody, like a lawyer, but it's somebody from the United States, and not somebody from Iraq. People from the United States go over there, and Bob had to represent someone. And this is really he don't like to talk about this, but I kind of jab him about it every once in a while. But he was assigned to someone, of course, from the United States. They're all top-level people, you know, presidents or whatever we call it, all these top people in the United States. They have to represent somebody, and he got assigned to somebody. Anybody want to hazard a guess who Bob Castley got assigned to represent, who came from the United States, somebody very high public office, and this might help you. This helps some people. Give you a hint.
Just tell us.
It's a woman.
Okay.
Anybody want to hazard a guess?
No? Well, I wasn't over there, so, okay.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. So I can't thank him enough. He came down here. We rode around, him and I got in the car, and we rode all around Edgewood, all around Joppatowne, and I had an opportunity to show him everything that we need done here. And he sent that to the task force, and now Rob and everybody's, I hope, working on some of those issues. So that, I thank you, and good night.
Are you here for Aaron Penny? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm trying to keep everybody straight, go ahead. Yeah, Aaron Penny was not here, this is, I forgot, I'm sorry.
No, no problem.
Your first name.
Lauren.
Lauren.
I'll be super quick. He just wanted to he has some legislative updates he wanted to pass along since the last CAB meeting. The tax credit for nonprofit swim clubs was approved, Bill 23029, and Bill 23030, the restaurant moratorium continuation. And then Councilman Gunther already spoke about it, but he wanted to add an extra reminder that tomorrow evening the public hearing for the hotel tax revenue bill, and then also the county employee mid-year pay increase will, the public hearing is then as well. And then finally, later this week, the 6th through the 8th, he'll be attending the Winter Mako conference. So at the next meeting, he should have some updates from the state.
Okay.
And then other than that, if anybody has any questions, just let me know for him.
And he supports the bill.
Yes.
Is Andre, did he leave or?
No.
Okay.
But I'll go, I guess.
I was gonna say, is his assistant is here, I wasn't sure if he was still here. Oh, okay. Where, is he here?
Yes.
A lot of people leave.
Andre, yeah, okay. But we're gonna let her, yeah.
Wait a minute.
She's pretty, right, Andre?
That's right.
Yeah, but he's the one that's getting ready to go into churches, cause when we come back next month, they in session and I got some questions, cause man, y'all got a lot to do. I shouldn't be up here in the store getting robbed. Y'all got these kids out of control.
Well, that's
and
a
I wanna
county
make
issue.
sure.
That's a county issue.
Yeah,
Talk
but
to
it's a
councilman.
crime issue,
Talk
but
to-
it's y'all at the state are the ones that's gonna help.
Hey, let
Hold
my chief of staff go ahead and take
Hang
care
on
of
for a
this.
minute. He also has a district office that you can
That's
go
right.
in and, right?
That's
Put the
right,
plug in. You have
absolutely.
an office that's open.
500 Edgewood Road.
Go into his office and sit down and.
Yeah, 'cause
go
that-
over
that's
it.
Sean.
Okay, I'm sorry, let's let his legislative aid. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, so we don't have any sort of like legislative updates per se. I did want to make a note that we are hosting a cookies and cocoa fundraiser at our office on December 23rd, 1 through 5 p.m. You can stop by any time. Just bring one non-perishable food item for donations, and you get to meet Santa. So, and our address is 500 Edgewood Road. And you can find the flyer on our Facebook page as
Yeah,
well.
so it is on Facebook, I did see it.
And I also wanted to bring up that session does start on January 9th, and that your voices do matter, and we're committed to representing you and all of your interests. And because we won't be here from January, February, March, and April, we will be giving you legislative updates through our newsletter, which is a monthly newsletter that we send out. I have a sign-up sheet here that I can pass around if anyone wants to sign. I'll leave it here. If anyone wants to sign up, just your name and your email address, and you will get monthly updates from us based on about what we're doing down there.
Already, I don't know.
And yeah, that's everything.
All right, thank you.
I have a question, and maybe I need to come into the office. I asked at the last meeting, my concern is, I go to Bel Air, okay, I'm from Bel Air actually, I go to Bel Air, I see it beautiful, all lit up at night. I come back home to Edgewood, and it's dreary. There's no lights, there's nothing being done to better Edgewood. Who do I need to speak with about this? We have this center bar, I mean, what is it, on 40? I guess you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The weeds that's growing up
Andre's gonna
on
answer you.
So,
Hi.
so for, because a lot of times things get confused, right? Because whether it's a local issue, whether it's a state issue.
Absolutely.
You know, and even if it's a federal issue, right? So the thing is that if you have any questions or anything that you need done, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if it's a county issue, if it's a local issue, like the crime or whatever, then I will reach out to the sheriff's department, or I'll reach out to your council member to make sure that they're aware of what's going on, so that we can get those things resolved. But a lot of times things get muddled because you think that, you know, Steve and I, Delegate Johnson and I, like it's our issue, or you may shoot an email to Delegate Guthrie and it's a state issue. But if you send an email to me, or Delegate Johnson, the other Johnson, then I will definitely try to resolve the issue. But yeah, as far as the median strips, that's something that falls under my purview because it's on the state highway side, right? So I can definitely call state highways and say, hey, look, that needs to be cut, needs to be trimmed, whatever the case may be.
It needs to be appealing.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
appealing to the eye.
Absolutely, but see, and once again, it gets weird, right? Because I don't know where the appealingness starts and where it ends as far as whose responsibility is what. But like I said, if it's something that you need or something that you see that needs to be improved, shoot me an email or come by the office. If it's a state issue, then I'll jump on it right away. If it's a county issue, then I'll shoot an email to your council member and or the county executive to make sure that they're aware of it. So, because I live in this community too, you know what I mean? So, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
So what about funding? Where would that go? I mean, is there any money that's being spent in Edgewood?
So
where is he going?
So the money that's spent in Edgewood, that's a county issue, right? So that's for the county executive, that's for your council member to start answering those questions, right? So those are questions that, as a CAB, someone needs to start going to these county council meetings and speaking at these county council meetings and saying, hey, where's our money going? Why are we having improvements?
Are they open? Are they open?
Yeah,
sure.
There's gonna be one tomorrow night. 6
Oh, really?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Where is that? 'Cause I need to be there.
You know the black box in Bel Air?
Of course. Right.
There you go.
Yeah, what's the address of the building where the county council meeting is held?
Right now, there's a
tire.
212 South Bond Street.
We meet the first 3 Tuesdays of the month.
Right, but she needs to know for tomorrow night, and it starts at what time? What time does it start?
It'll start at 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30.
6:30 for that.
There's a public hearing for his hotel.
Okay, so I need this time. Steve, do you have anything you wanna address or?
No, I'm gonna keep it very short. I always come here to listen and learn about what's going on in the Edgewood Joppa area. It was brought out about no money's being spent in Edgewood or Joppa. If you guys know good projects that need state assistance, let us know, because I did work with then Delegate Andre Johnson on projects, identifying projects. You see, money's going to Aberdeen and Haverty Grace. Their elected officials are constantly reaching out, sitting down, letting us know what they need, asking us to put in bond bills. stuff like that. So, with the help of Delegate Andre Johnson now, down there, we have brought back more money to this district than has come back in almost 30 years. So if you know projects, reach out to us and let us know. So, because Edgewood Joppa area do not have, they're not municipalities, so they do not have those direct elected officials, you know, looking for things right here. But you do have Councilman Guthrie, so let him know if you know good projects, and he can get with us and, or reach out to us directly, and, you know, we'll try to, the one year we brought back most of the money came to Edgewood Joppa area that was brought back to the district.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was for Copper Mine, that was for the Isaac Walton League, that was for the Leading Edge Training Center and the Boys and Girls Club. So,
Okay.
yeah, just let us know, and look, we represent the whole district, so we don't wanna see you folks get shortchanged down here.
So we need to.
Don't seem like y'all represent the
Councilman
disability community very
One year at a
well.
time.
And that's it, yep.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Do you have a list of grants that are available to ask for? I mean, I've seen the budgets where grants are given. I'd like to have a grant writer, but I'd like to know if there's a list anywhere of the grants that can be requested.
I will ask, I know the bond bill initiatives are usually for capital projects, to help projects get off the ground. As far as grants, I will have to, usually nonprofits apply for those directly through the state.
And we do have nonprofits,
Yeah.
I'm not talking as the CAB.
Right.
But there are nonprofits
Yeah.
within this group. And we need to know
I can
what
send-
grants are available.
I can send you a
Yeah, I
link,
want to
I can send you a link.
I'd love it.
One second.
And we'll.
And also, and I'm sorry, and also too, Ms. Gloria, is that we also have liaisons in those offices that directly, talk to us. So I can also forward you their email address so that you can get in contact with them as well.
Okay.
Ben, you had a question?
I was gonna say the Harford County's grant and aid, money, the grant will close tomorrow. It was originally slated to close today at 4 p.m., but they extended it a day. We did, our organization applied for, a grant. So they have, it's a competitive process, so they only have a limited
Right.
pot of money, and then groups that submit and they'll review and select it'll be announced June of 2024. But, that's from the county. Now, other, big organizations, they have their window of, grants, so it's really, reaching out and finding out. United Way just finished theirs. The issue for United Way is you have to have a big project. And until we have a big project for the community, such as a beautification, because we are not an incorporated area, we are actively engaged with the county executive's office and Bob Wagner on some of the things that I'm hearing at these meetings. So we're meeting to talk about how can we bring those dollars for beautification of the neighborhood. And the first order of business is the sustainable community designation. And for that, once we get that, it'll open up a lot of state and grants for beautification.
I will say that having a grant writer is a great thing, because we're actually looking for one, because we do a lot of, apply for grants through our synagogue. We're doing another one now, because we ask for money for security, especially now.
There's a free training course, you can be trained to write grants.
Oh, and so last thing, I've participated in putting information in for our
Yeah,
last
they
grant,
did.
and it really is time consuming. Last question, then we're gonna move on.
When you talk about large projects, I know we keep bringing up this issue about security and cameras and things, also concerned about that when you guys might have a house, but, when you were referring to we can send it through, Guthrie, or we can send it ourselves, the infrastructure for doing some type of security, what have you, for our own communities or what have you, to me seems like a larger project. How are you defining a large project, and who do you?
I didn't say anything about large projects.
Oh,
It's any
I'm
projects.
sorry.
I mean, they can be,
Any project?
I think she mentioned large projects.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
But it can be any project as long as it's, but again, the state bond bills are only for capital projects. That's building something or the fit out or something with building, so, So that is what mostly the state bond bills are for, so, and they can be used for acquisitions as well.
So land acquisition, building of a structure.
Remodeling.
Let's get through the.
But not for paying your employees.
Not for operating expenses or anything.
Alright, do you wanna take a couple of minutes? Will, did you wanna take a couple of minutes, like I've heard you talking up it earlier?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
just make it as quick as you
Okay.
can, cause we still gotta get through, and I'm trying to get everybody out by 9 o'clock tonight.
Okay, so I hadn't planned on, I was coming to talk to a couple people, but I've talked to Delegate Johnson, I've talked to Melissa, some other people about this, but I have an idea for urban agriculture.
Okay.
Urban farming. Where, you know, northern Harford County has North Hartford, and there's a lot of farms, and, you know, farm kids and farm people and stuff like that, and I you know, had this idea that here in Edgewood, Joppa area, urban areas, that there's probably people in these areas, grown-ups, kids. My wife teaches at Bakerfield Elementary School. She just put in vegetable gardens there last year. Kids love it. But urban farming, I think could have just immense benefits for this, for the area, the community. You could do it on small lots. There's so much to it, way too much to go into tonight. But if anyone's interested in, and I talked to, just today, as a matter of fact, the Chesapeake Climate Action Network, who does lobbying on the local level, on the state level, and on the federal level. I talked to them about lobbying to create a state program of urban farming, but you know, it could offer benefits to you know, kids here, hunger, you know, food insecurity, beautification. You know, it incorporates planting, you know, gardening, vegetables, that people could, you know, put on any size lot down by the epicenter, right next to the, what's the? Gates. There's 10,000 square foot empty lot there that could be turned into an urban farm. That could feed the community. That my idea is possibly turning into a business enterprise, so you could you know, hire people, it could create income, you could sell to restaurants, there's a program to sell to schools, all kinds of stuff, so, but I need to get some people to, we're planning on going down to the, Annapolis, February 19th, to lobby to possibly create a state program for this. If anyone's interested in talking to me about this idea, possibly getting on board, you know, with lobbying our state representatives to incorporate that into these areas, let me know. I can give you my number.
You said February the 19th?
February the 19th is when they're actually physically going to Annapolis. It's a lobby night for the Chesapeake Climate Action Network.
Okay.
And this is one of the things that I suggested, let's talk about this.
And you'll keep us updated on how things are going and.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on this for like a year now, and I've met with people, community members, and there's a lot of interest in
If
it.
you'll keep us updated at every meeting where it is, we'd appreciate it.
Sure.
How can they contact you?
Yeah, what's your contact information? Or just-
I can give you my email address, which is, it's Graham, Graham, William, the number 0, @gmail.com. GrahamWilliam0@gmail.com.
Excellent. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna try and get everybody out of here. By
I do.
9, so we're
I do.
gonna start with Adam. You have something to report?
Yeah, a few quick announcements. First of all, again, sorry for the live stream thing. I've been kind of told to back off of it, so I'm still working to try to get things, but it's on you guys. If you think you want the community to know this stuff, it's got to be a you thing, not a me thing anymore. Fattest Squirrel Contest at Mariner Point Park is happening until December 8th. So if you would like to sign up, that's at jtown.org/squirrel. There's also a Christmas light contest that runs till December 17th. Entries till December 17th. Judging will happen the weekend after. Coming up this weekend and next weekend, Joppatowne High School is presenting a Christmas Carol on December 8th and 9th, and also December 15th and 16th. All of those dates have shows at 7 p.m. December 16th, there's also a 2 p.m. matinee. Tickets for adults are $12, students $5. Next Monday, we will have a Job Development and Heritage Corporation meeting. That's one of those nonprofits that Gloria was talking about, where we try to get grant funding for stuff. So if you would like to be a part of that, please come to that. The holidays can be kind of a tough time for people. I'm totally aware of that. On the Wednesday before Christmas, my church is going to have a blue Christmas service. It's for people who are experiencing disappointment, loss, hurt at the holidays. Maybe you don't want to go to a super happy, peppy service. That's for you. So if that's something that'd be helpful for anybody, Wednesday night prior to Christmas, I can't remember the date, sorry. And that'll start at 6:30. And then also, when we have this meeting next month, Joppatowne Christian Church is going to be at the host site for the emergency rotating homeless shelter. We're going to be running it from January 3rd to the 13th, but it's not just a Joppatowne Christian Church event. The community really gets involved. If you'd like to participate by volunteering your time or volunteering to make a meal, or you can also volunteer to send money if you want to. That's to help the people in the county who don't have a home. So that's going to be January 3rd to the 13th, and then again on February 10th to the 17th down in Joppatowne. We're looking for other churches who want to get involved. Currently, there are 2. It's Joppatowne Christian Church and Mount Zion, and so that means that we have 3 weeks of the winter covered. So if you know of a church who's looking to be involved, I'd be more than happy to talk to them about what it entails and the work that goes into it. And if you would like to get involved with our effort, please feel free. Thanks.
How's that house across the street?
Jensen, nothing. Jim, like I say, just watch the clock.
Couple things, combination, Ron solid, Ron is sick, as you know. One, pass the word, anybody with the Christmas trees, they gotta be watered, checked every day. Make sure they stay with water. We don't wanna come to your house with a fire. Second thing, gifts, toys, the solid state toys that you gotta plug in to charge them. Unplug them at night. Do not leave those things plugged in. These EV skateboards, motorbikes, whatever you wanna call them. Unplug them at night. They do catch fire. All right, much like the EV vehicles that unheard of catch fire. That's a couple quick things. Joppa Magnolia in the last month, our rescue engine that goes out on PIs, automobile accidents with injuries, rescues, made 35 runs last month. And I can guarantee you, we damn near every day we're on 95 doing something. And just last night, we were down on one end of 152. Somebody tried to run the barricades going into APG. That car wound up in the air over the barricades. Our EMS runs out of Joppa Magnolia last month were 465. That's just for our ambulances. I can guarantee Abingdon and Kingsville were in as well, and as we run to them as they run. The hospitals are packed, and your waiting time, if you think you're gonna call an ambulance, unless you're really, we call priority 1 sick, you're gonna wind up in the waiting room.
9 hours.
Yeah.
The average, they just spoke in front of the council,
Talk my
11 hours.
With a kidney stone.
11
From 9
hours.
o'clock.
And they're shutting down.
5:15 the next morning.
Harvard Memorial will be shut down by the middle of February.
Yep.
That's
So it
as
is
much
finally
less bad.
official.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They've created a 24 bed facility at Aberdeen as an emergency thing that's good for up to 48 hours. And if you come in there and you're really sick, they're gonna transport you to Upper Chesapeake or fly you out or whatever else. So calling an ambulance is not a quick way to get in the emergency room. You're better off going to a doc in a box or whatever, unless you're really sick.
Emergency room after 2 hours, and then tell you we can't treat you, send you to the emergency room.
The other thing I wanted to point out, 911 center. Our 911 center is now under federal law, is incorporating the Belair Town, Aberdeen Town, and Habitat Grace police as well. They've incorporated the Aberdeen now, and over the next 12 months, we'll bring in the Blair and Havre de Grace. So all 911 calls will come through the Emergency Operations Center up in Hickory. All right? The hospital, I got that, 911 staffing, okay. That really pretty well covers it. Joppa Magnolia on the fire side, we ran 144 calls last month, fire side. That includes PIs now, the 35 I showed you on our rescue engine as well, but that's total call volume just for Joppa Magnolia. If I ran through the rest of the county, it's that much more, and we're borderline to Abingdon, and their call volume is anywhere from 25% to ambulances are 50% more than Joppa because they're running up that whole 24 cars back and forth. All right.
Thank you.
There was one going down 7 when I was coming here.
And that's Gloria reminds me. Go ahead.
Hang on one second.
Oh, sorry. Keep going with your thing. We have 2 questions.
Remind me, all the traffic jams and all the traffic. If you lived on Jerusalem Road or Old Joppa Road in the evening from 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock, you think you got traffic jam, you can't get out on the cross streets. There's that much traffic. And so the speed off from the state roads to the county roads all has an effect. And you can tell instantly when 95's backed up.
Yeah, because then I can't get to my son's house on 7th.
Yeah, that's right.
He's right at Philadelphia
Right.
Station.
I can't
Yeah.
leave
Where's
my
the
house.
twenty
We
ambulance?
had a, Bill, did you have a
Where's
question?
the 20?
Where the
Yeah, hang on a second. Hang on.
Dion just asked about the 20 ambulances the county is paying for. Joppa had one, and now we've got 2. A medic ambulance over the Hanson Road station and a BLS ambulance at our #1 station, and they're spread through the county. They built the county station up on 165 between Whiteford and Jarrettsville, and there's 1 ambulance up there staffed around the clock. Whiteford backed out of ambulance service altogether. Nobody else did, but they've all got. Jarrettsville's got 1 ambulance. Northville's got 1 ambulance. Folston's got 1 ambulance. Belair's got 1, and it's gonna get a second one down in 24. Abingdon's running 2. Aberdeen's got 2 now, and Havre de Grace is gonna get an ambulance in town, in addition to 1 at the volunteer 5-9, a BLS ambulance. So that's where the 20 ambulances are going.
Okay.
And,
Bill, you had a question?
It was Steve.
Yeah, I know. I said, Steve, hang on just a second. This Bill had a
I do, but not for this, for the community stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay. As soon as we get done with this, Steve, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a question. Last month, we heard a report from the sheriff's office of increased auto accidents in Harford County. Now, you say you're out on 95 every day.
Yep.
Is that in that construction area?
And part of it's a construction area, yes.
Reason I was asking because
Part of it.
I was wondering if that was contributing to our increased auto accidents in Harford County.
I'll say somewhat, but just like the one over the weekend where we had 10 cars involved, and they treated 20 patients, only transported 2, came from an unsafe lane change at high speed, over 65 miles an hour, and then off of that was the car carrier with a load of cars was across the road, and 9 other cars involved, and it's that type of stuff. And frankly, I stay off 95. I drive US 1. Even there, the cars that pass, you slow down, somebody will pass you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with this stuff, and somebody not going fast enough. That they want to change and go around and ride up your bumper. Next thing you know, they're around you, and you're making a lane change, or all of a sudden an exit pops up. But yeah, between the gunpowder and 24, we run with Abingdon up and down the 24, and they run with us north and southbound. Yeah, you can come up with a lot of descriptions, and of course that's state police, just like 152 is state police. and 24 state police. But there's just enough accidents going on, and I can guarantee you, if somebody would just take a minute to slow down, that we probably cut down some of that, but it is what it is.
Adam, you had a question?
Somebody online asked me to ask you if the Santa fire truck thing could feature a menorah, Jewish star, or Captain Hanukkah.
Wednesday night, well, Joppa's had carried Santas all around, but Wednesday night is Wednesday Allen's turn.
Hang on for a minute. No, it's not, because I'm Jewish, and there is nothing in this county that celebrates, I mean, we're gonna have a grand menorah lighting in Bel Air that the rabbi up there does, but other than that, there's nothing in any store, there's nothing in any mall, there's nothing, so, yeah. So it wouldn't be terrible to have a menorah on the truck with a Christmas tree. It really wouldn't.
I didn't see that this year, their Christmas tree, I just seen that.
Oh, no, but Santa, but I mean, he can.
Not to be nasty, but they're gonna have them this week.
But they won't, but that's okay.
Rumsey Allen, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, Santa's gonna make a ride on the fire truck, but the last 2 weeks, they've been all through the year, ask Gloria.
Yes. They come late at night, the kids are in the bed getting ready for school when they come.
9 o'clock.
I mean, there's no kids, there was not a soul in my neighborhood. And we thought it was like maybe a fire or something, so that's why we looked out the window.
In the afternoon.
But there's not a kid out there on the street anywhere.
All right, did anybody else have any questions for Jim? If not, we need to keep moving along.
My turn.
It's Gloria.
My turn. I went to the DAC meeting for the mineral sands, 5 buildings. The map, the large map is back there if you wanna look at it. That's more traffic on 152 that's coming. Nobody has decided they're gonna move into the buildings, but they're gonna build the buildings. Typical.
Okay, go ahead, you have a question?
My question is, I've came across a few homeowners who don't have the funds to be able to take care of, what I tell them is, it's an electrical fire waiting to happen. They have issues on in their home, like switches not working, and lights flickering, and to me, it's a fire waiting to happen. But they don't have the money to fix it because electricians are so high. Are there any programs out there that would be able to help individuals like that anyone knows of?
Not through the fire company, no. I mean, if you call us for something like that, we're gonna turn the breaker box off, they'll have no electricity at all. Till then, get an electrician in to repair it, then they will have to spend some money.
But if they don't have the money, you don't have it, you don't have it, you can't pull it out of the air.
Just left.
So no
Our
program.
delegates left. You should
Yeah,
have
I
asked
wonder,
them.
or I wonder if they called Baltimore Gas and Electric, if they would get them to like the Energy Assistance Department, that would help them. Cause there is an Energy Assistance Department.
I think people
like that.
refer people to the energy assistance program, and I don't see, everybody I know says they don't do anything.
Okay, you know what, I'll see if I can't get some information and find out, maybe have it for the next meeting, I'll see if there's someplace.
Cause I came across 3 individuals that has this issue, they don't have the money, to have an electrician.
Okay, I'll see if I can find out if there's some kind of.
But I had an issue some years ago where I had a light in my hallway, and that light kept flickering and flickering, and I knew something's wrong with that light. I taped it up, don't use that light, but then I got an electrician to come in there and look at it.
Right.
And come to find out, it was something up in my attic. The
Oh,
light would
nice.
come on by itself, I'm like, don't use this light, something's wrong with this light, so I cut off all switches to that light. But I got it fixed, but, I mean,
I'll add to that, make sure their smoke detectors work, please. And if they don't have one, we'll call in to Ron Solid.
I am one
we'll
individual
get
I
for
just
free.
spoke with this weekend, and they had one issue going on as you come in their foyer with the light doing that. And then they pointed out to me something else in the basement with another switch, I'm like, this is not safe, it is not safe.
Well, I'll see if I can find out some information about if there's any kind of agency.
Yeah.
Yes, I said as soon as we get done with this, I told Bill to get out the door.
Let's see if I'm ready.
No, but I heard him.
Just keep going.
I just wanted to wish everybody a really happy holiday and a safe holiday.
Absolutely, Merry Christmas to all a good night.
And happy Hanukkah.
We
which starts this
Happy
Thursday.
Yeah, we can't forget.
I know, I'm
We're all
moving
Add
along.
Kwanzaa in after that.
Any more, you just have to say happy holiday.
Go to hell when I say Merry Christmas.
I really have lost control of this.
You're bound to miss one.
Okay, amazing people. We're bringing it to a close, we're bringing it in. I'm Melissa DeResca, it's been a pleasure being on the board, thank you guys for having me on the board, happy holidays. In 2024, we're looking to bring you some amazing things for the community.
That's right.
So just stay
Pass the hotel tax, that'll put $30,000.
Okay, we gonna get some people off Section 8.
Okay, Robert?
Have a great holiday.
Marion?
Yeah, well, have a great holiday, and also remember that, the Joppatowne High School, the drama club is in need of donations, prepackaged snacks, drinks, sodas, water bottles, chips, cookies, candy bars. That's what they use to pay for the drama club, so it supports them. So if anybody is willing, we can drop it off at the school, during school hours.
All right, Bill, you're up.
I'll be quick. I read in Dion's report about the Gunpowder River Bridge. And it says they're sending out a letter for design. And we need to raise that bridge a couple feet so we can support Oasis and get everybody out there
Right.
with a slightly bigger boat.
Yes.
And it says this is coming up quick, so we probably need to have somebody looking at how we get in contact with the people who make the decisions.
Was there, on the smaller bridge, they were talking about a pedestrian?
I haven't seen the design. I'm just read this. I'm figuring out we gotta figure out a way to get involved.
Yeah.
Did you have something else?
Yeah, I just have one thing to say. If anybody's interested in reading a little bit about what I was talking about with the urban farming, I've written up a couple documents, and if you're interested, stop by and I can give you this and you can read about what I'm talking about.
All right. Anybody else have anything?
You want me to get a quick on the community center? 'Cause I've-
Make it real quick, because it's 5 to 9, and I intend to end this meeting at 9 on the dot.
30 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
You're gonna talk 30 seconds.
So I'm saying, this is your test, Marianne.
Yes, the Joppatowne Community Center, okay? It's moving forward. It's gonna be built, right as you enter the Joppatowne High School on the right-hand side there, where those trees and where that lot is. There's about 7.5 acres there. It's more than enough room to put the community center. They already did the, I forgot about, what's the stuff they do ahead of time before they do the engineering? Yeah, they did that site, that's all done, now they're getting ready to do the engineering work, and we hope to, as the budget says, we hope to get a shovel on the ground in the spring of next year.
Good.
Keep your fingers
30
crossed.
seconds.
Okay, all right, a new record. Very good. Does anybody have anything else? If not, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and I will see you. Oh, I guess I'll see you next year.
Next year.
Wow. Meeting is adjourned.